back to hand therapy tools. Today we are going to be talking about osteoarthritis and how we can better manage some of our symptoms while we're at home. So to start, what is osteoarthritis? Osteoarthritis is just inflammation of the joints. Basically, you have cartilage that lines your bones, and it's a bad deal really, but over time they start to wear down and we only get one set for the rest of our lives. But once that wears down, we have to kind of adjust some of the things that we're doing to kind of promote function. Now, when we have osteoarthritis, oftentimes we have morning stiffness, we have pain, we have inability to make a tight fist without there being symptoms, and then sometimes we have bony growths, like sometimes we call them osteophytes or Herbertin nodes or Bouchard nodes. Those are the swelling that occurs at these middle joints right here, and then your Herbertins are the ones that occur at the tips of the fingers. So those are things that often limit mobility and often can make things very hard for people to bend their fingers, grasp items, manipulate items, and just do everyday activities of daily living. Gloves. Gloves are one of my favorite things to support the joints. That is one of the things I recommend to almost all of my patients. Copper joint gloves are some of my favorites, but these gloves as well that are available in our hand therapy kit are laced with copper, but they also have a little bit of that grip. So when you're grabbing onto things, you have a little bit more flexion because of some of this like plastic and some of this lining, that you're able to manipulate items a lot easier. So when you're twisting a jar, it doesn't take so much stress on the joints. Now, another thing that I often recommend for patients is finding a cream that you absolutely are smitten with. Voltaren is on the market. You can get it at a Walgreens, you can get it at a CVS, your local grocery mart, but those are things that work over time. So diclofenac is most of the time at 1%. That works over time within the joints to help decrease some of the inflammation. If you need, in right now, pain management, oftentimes using something with menthol or using something that is going to be a little bit more fast acting, it would be a lot better for you. I have Blue Emu sometimes that I use in the clinic, but my absolute favorite is Pure Med CBD. And then this I put on almost all of my patients as long as they're willing, and it helps to reduce some of their pain right there and then. Putty for hand strengthening. When we're on stage 3, like we often want to do hand strengthening, but we don't want heavy gripping items. So using a little bit of therapy putty, this should be a little bit more than right around like 4 ounces or so. Should be more, no, it should be enough. I don't want to say more than enough. 2 ounces is not enough. Is enough to do all of your gripping and turning, your pinching activities, as I've discussed in previous videos, and other strengthening that can help improve osteoarthritis. And then lastly, just a quick tip, using joint protection strategies. So making sure that you're lifting with the palm up, and like sometimes instead of getting plastic bags, you get a paper bag and you carry with the palms up to take some of that pressure off of some of the hands. Holding your bags like this, and if you're like me and we're one-trip people, then that can often cause deformity and other pain or stress on the joints at the bare minimum that's not really needed. Sorry, I know I may have said lastly, but lastly, get rid of these. We need to go ahead and move to electric can openers and other kitchen items that are going to reduce the stress on our joints. Why continue to kind of stress to use some of these tools when it's a really heavy pinch and it's a lot of stress on the joints, when we can just use an electric can opener that can go ahead and save our joints and prevent further deformity and pain. So these have been tips from a certified hand therapist on how to manage osteoarthritis. There is more within our osteoarthritis hand therapy toolkit, where I provide a lot of these items like the putty, the glove. I show you how to use rubber bands for different hand strengthening exercises, and to how to provide more stability to this thumb, because oftentimes that's one of the first joints that start aching when people start grasping things and manipulating things. People often lose a lot of thumb function, or they'll present with deformities and things like that, such as that. If you guys have any questions, please leave a comment below. And if you're interested in a free consultation and you just want an evaluation to see how your function is, or if there's any opportunity for occupational therapy, please go ahead and reach out at jhenryotr@gmail.com, or you can always find us at handsonneurorehab.com. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.